Have you ever daydreamed about packing up and starting fresh in a new place? And what if I told you that there are places in America that'd actually pay you to do just that? Yep, you heard right. As remote work becomes the norm, some US states are jumping on a unique bandwagon, trying to attract people like you and me with real cash incentives. Now, if the idea of getting paid to move to a picturesque state has piqued your curiosity, stay with me. We're about to explore 7 US states that are making offers too tempting to ignore. And who knows, one of them might just be your next home. Number 7, Alaska. First up on our list is Alaska, the land known for its breathtaking wilderness and, you might not know, its oil wealth. So here's the deal. Alaska has this unique setup called the Permanent Fund Dividend, or PFD for short. Every year, folks living in Alaska get a share of the state's oil earnings. We're talking about a thank you cash payment just for being a resident. The best part? There's no catch or major requirements. Whether you're sipping coffee in Anchorage or hiking in Denali, if you're living there, you're part of the program. Now hold on to your seats because some years, the payout has reached up to $3,284 per person. Imagine that extra padding in your wallet just for enjoying life in one of the most scenic places in America. It's not just about the money though. Moving to Alaska is like stepping into a postcard of majestic mountains, endless forests, and maybe even catching the northern lights on a lucky day. So, if you're dreaming of an escape with a bit of adventure and a yearly cash bonus, Alaska might just be calling your name. Number 6, West Virginia. Now, let's meander through the mountain trails to West Virginia. Picture this. You're nestled in the mountains, the fresh air, and the serene environment, and guess what? The state is willing to pay remote workers $12,000 to move there. Sounds like a fairy tale? Well, it's all part of the Ascend West Virginia program. But wait, there's more to this story. It's not just about moving there and snagging the cash. They're looking for people committed to soaking in the state's natural beauty for at least 2 years. Plus, you've got to match their income and education criteria. They're essentially paying you to enjoy the mountain state lifestyle while you work remotely. And it's not just the cash that's impressive. The program also includes passes for outdoor activities and co-working spaces, making sure your experience is as enriching as possible. So, if the idea of getting paid to embrace the mountain life intrigues you, West Virginia is definitely worth considering. Number 5, Kansas. Switching gears a bit, let's head to the heartland of Topeka, Kansas. Now you might be thinking, Kansas? Really? But trust me, this state's capital has an offer that's turning heads. Ever thought of getting a sweet $15,000 just for relocating? That's what the Topeka Remote Worker Program is putting on the table. The city, known for its rich history and community spirit, is reaching out to folks who can bring their remote work to its charming streets. And they're not just handing out the cash to anyone. You've got to stick around for at least a year and, of course, meet some specific income and education criteria. But once that's squared away, you're all set to enjoy the perks of living in a city that's bustling with activities, art scenes, and mouth-watering local food. Number 4, Iowa. Let's shift our gaze now to the Midwest, to a state often celebrated for its charming small towns and vast landscapes, Iowa. But we're zooming in on one city in particular that's making waves with its inviting offer, and that's Newton. Newton has this enticing pitch, $10,000 for remote workers willing to set roots and embrace its unique charm. Imagine waking up in a place where community ties are strong, where every neighbour might just greet you with a smile, and where life moves at a pace that lets you truly savour each moment. But, as with all good deals, there's a bit of fine print. To get a hold of that $10,000, you've got to fit into Newton's specified income and education requirements. And of course, you'd be making a commitment to live there for at least a year. Think of it as a year of discovery, getting to know the local cafes, parks, and maybe even joining one of their community events or festivals. Number 3, Indiana. Next, we're heading over to the Hoosier State, specifically to the greater Lafayette area in Indiana. It's a place where the rhythm of life harmoniously blends with the vibrancy of its communities. And guess what? They've thrown an exciting offer into the mix. Greater Lafayette is offering remote workers a tidy sum of $5,000 to join their bustling community. And while the dollar figure might be the first thing that catches your eye, the real gem is the lifestyle you'd be stepping into. We're talking about a region that's teeming with cultural events, historic landmarks, and an undeniable sense of belonging. But, and there's always a but, isn't there? To dive into this opportunity, you've got to meet their income and education standards. And yep, you guessed it, you'd be making a commitment to enjoy all that Greater Lafayette has to offer for at least a year. Number 2. Kentucky. Let's journey to the bluegrass state next, known for its horse racing, bourbon distilleries, and now a tempting offer from the city of Owensboro. Situated along the southern banks of the Ohio River, Owensboro is more than just a city. It's a lively experience waiting to be explored. Here's the pitch. Owensboro is ready to hand over $5,000 to remote workers who choose to make the city their home. But it's not just about the cash. Owensboro boasts of riverside parks, bustling downtown vibes, and a calendar full of events and festivals that'll keep your weekends busy. Now, the usual stipulations apply. The city has its set of income and education prerequisites that you'd need to match. And of course, you'd be soaking in the Owensboro lifestyle for a minimum of 1 year. But considering the cultural richness, the spirited community, and that sweet cash incentive, it's a year that promises to be filled with new adventures and stories. Number 1. Lincoln County. And now, let's circle back to Kansas, but this time, we're venturing to the picturesque landscapes of Lincoln County. This isn't your typical urban setting. Instead, think open skies, undulating terrains, and the kind of peace and quiet that lets you hear your own thoughts. Lincoln County is offering $5,000 for remote workers who want to experience the serene life in this beautiful county. But it's not just about quiet evenings watching sunsets. This is a community that thrives on togetherness, on barn dances, local fairs, and community potlucks. To tap into this opportunity, you'd need to resonate with the county's income and education expectations. And yes, to truly immerse yourself in the Lincoln County way of life, a 1-year commitment is on the cards. But when that year is filled with fresh air, friendly neighbours, and an endless horizon, it's more of a promise of good times than a requirement. And there you have it, 7 incredible places in the US that aren't just inviting you to experience their unique charm, but are also willing to pay you for it. Now, which of these states would you consider moving to? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more such videos.